Hello, 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 hi, it's Pete again. This week is week 12 of our course, and we're just going to have a quick look at playing about with Blogger so we can look at creating our own blogs. But what we're also going to do is then move on and answer any questions and things like that. So let's get started with Blogger. Now, to start with, Blogger. A blog is a place where people and groups can post things on a regular basis that interest them. And that is the important thing. So it's something that interests the person who's writing the blog. It's not necessarily written for a massive audience. It could be something about the birds that you see in your garden on a daily basis. It could be the flowers. It could be insects. It could be absolutely anything at all that interests you. The gossip in the street, the politics, whatever it is. It doesn't make any difference at all. Now, it's generally written in a fairly conversational and chatty style, so it doesn't need a great sort of massive amount of English skills or anything like that. It's about you getting out there and saying what you want to say. Some people then let other people comment on what's being said. A lot of people, and I'm one of them, have got blogs that I don't think anybody has ever looked at, but it doesn't mean that I don't get pleasure out of creating the blog, and also it just allows me to release a bit of steam now and again. Now, a blogger is both a person who blogs, e.g., who is that daft blogger, and also a blogger is the Google's program that allows anybody to create a blog. So before we start, what you should really do is make sure you've got a topic that you want to blog on. Now, you can do anything you want, but keep it clean and legal. Don't go off on one that's going to start attacking people, attacking people's religions or anything like that. Keep it clean, keep it decent, keep it legal, and write it for yourself. Just treat it like a public diary. It can be a fantastic way of recording your memories. Now, today's blog title, so because we're doing this as part of a training course, what I would like to do today is to give you a blog title, and the bloggies that we're going to write about is what we've actually covered in the last 12 weeks of training. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move across then to have a quick look at the blog that we've already written and take it forward. So here's the blog that I write every week to cover the topics that we're going to cover inside of a course. So this last week was building a Google website, and we had a quick look at how we could do that. The week before was looking at Google Maps. We had a look at Google Slides, and we've looked at all sorts of different bits and pieces. Now down the side here, we can actually see that this was May, and if I go into April, we can see the topics that we covered in April. Yeah, and I can go and I can see the topics that we covered in March. So we could go all the way back through everything that we've covered. Now, most of the things we've covered could have actually taken us a good few weeks to cover in great detail. So again, we can actually identify areas that you maybe want to cover in more detail in terms of the way that you actually would like to work. But let's actually move on. So here I am in Google, and as you can see, I'm signed in because it's got plus Pete at the top there. There's my image. So here I can come down, and if I just type Blogger, you see there's always a problem when I can't type. Let's try again, Blogger. And then it comes up here with sign in to continue to Blogger. Now, on your account, with it being the first time I've used Blogger, it may come back to you and say, can you give us some more details? Can you tell us, can you sign in again? Just to protect you and to say that you actually want to use Blogger. I've moved on to the next stage here, and here I've got the ability to create a new blog, or I can go and have a look and see what else is happening in the world of Blogger and find some blogs that I want to read. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and create a new blog. So when I create a new blog, the first thing it asks me to do is to give the blog a title. So I'm going to call mine Career, because that's where we are, and it's now May, and it's going to be a review. Now, the reason for giving it such a clumsy title is that it will actually mean that it's going to be unique. And so what I want to do is I'm just going to copy that and use it as my address. It won't like that space. Yep, so this is my Career May Review blog. Oh, Yep, doesn't like that space, so let's take that space out. Yep, that's okay. It's got the little tick there to say that it's unique and it's okay. Now here I've got different ways that I can actually have for the way my blog is going to look. I've got simple, I've got dynamic views, I've got picture window, ethereal, watermark, awesome. And to an extent it would depend what my blog is about as to which one I would use. So if, for example, I wanted to show off pictures, then I may use the picture window as being the most appropriate. I'm going to stick with simple, as will come as no surprise to anybody. So there I've now chosen simple. And then I'm just scrolling down at the side here to where it says create blog. I click on create blog and it tells me it's creating it. And there it is. I have now got to my next page, which shows me all I need to know about my blog. So as you can see, nobody has read it. But that's because we haven't actually written it yet. So what I want to do is to create a post. Now, a post is the first piece of item that we'll actually write inside of our blog. And I can just go straight up to the pencil here to create a new post. Here it comes on, and there, as you can see, I've got my blog. So here I can type in, this is my new blog. And then underneath here, I can then start to type in the detail of the blog. So I could say the area of the course I enjoyed the most was the use of WeVideo and the coffee. Okay, now here I've got a range of different things that I can actually add in here. So I can play about with the font. So if I say fonts, oops, I've got the hit the 7 key instead of the return key. So if I say I want to play about with fonts, if I choose the fonts thing here, then I can highlight that and then I can say, well, I think that would look better in Helvetica. And now that's in the Helvetica font. The next one across is where I can play about with size. So there I've got my largest size. Here I can actually say whether something is going to be a heading. Bold, italic, underlined, crossed out, change the colour of the font. Yeah, so I can play about with all of these bits and pieces in order to be able to make life as easy as I would like. Here I've got the ability to add a link. So if I wanted to link something to a different website or something of that nature, I could do. There is my insert an image button. So to insert an image, I click onto here. And then I can choose a file. And if I come down onto my hard drive, I can choose pictures. There's the carrier. And so I can bring in my picture of my blogger. And then add selected. And as you can see, I can go very much the same as we were playing with last week in terms of the use of oh dear me, I forgot what I was playing with. Websites. When we were playing with websites last week, it's the same sort of tool. Here I can insert a video. There I can insert a jump break, so it will actually cause a break and make a jump. I can change my alignment. And these other bits and pieces, numbers, bullet points, quotes, removing formatting and spell check. So there we are. Once I've actually got my font in place, I could save it if I've not finished with what I want to do, or indeed I can publish it. And once I've published it, then this now goes out, available to anybody to actually view. Now, I'm not going to share this at the moment because it's rubbish. Yeah, so I'm just going to cancel from there at the moment. But there, as you can see, this is my new blog. And here I've got the options to edit, the view, share, or indeed delete that particular post. Let's view my blog. And there is my blog already in place. As you can see, it's not particularly the biggest blog you've ever seen. We'll have a look at where we can actually pick up the details from the history of me that tells us a bit about me, my profile, that's the word, good heavens, I'm struggling this morning. But there we go. So what we've got there then is how we can create a simple blog using Blogger. Talk to you later. Cheers, bye.